You got pregnant with me. The night your wife was pregnant, you cheated on me with a porn star. I want you to do that to me, Buster Brown.
Hey everybody! It's Friday, June 28th. We're coming to you a day later than usual, obviously to provide some reaction to last night's historic presidential debate. CNN was calling it an unprecedented presidential debate, and I'll just say I think the tenor of the evening and how things would go started early. I was over at Adam's house and we were watching the CNN pregame before the debate. And the CNN, the Chiron under CNN with their big panel said, First Lady Jill Biden, I know Joe is ready to go. And Adam, your girlfriend Maya made the point that it sounded like this was hospice and we were all getting ready to say goodbye to him. It's just like, it's his time. You're going to say your goodbyes, but he's ready. He's ready to let go.
Well, I apologize. She's got a dark sense of humor. It rubs a lot of people the wrong way, and she doesn't respect the office. So,
but I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin on last night's debate. So I'll just say, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I thought Joe Biden did pretty good.
Expectations were high. Everyone knows that, and he somehow exceeded them. That was surprising. I'm to the left of everyone. I supported Julian Castro in the fucking primaries. But that was the greatest debate performance by anyone in history.
He knocked it out of the park, and things are good today because just a few of the reactions from today, with the benefit of hindsight. This one from Barack Obama: "Bad debate nights happen. Trust me, I know. But this election is still a choice between someone who has fought for ordinary folks his entire life and someone who only cares about himself. Between someone who tells the truth, who knows right from wrong, and will give it to the American people straight, and someone who lies through his teeth for his own benefit. Last night didn't change that, and it's why so much is still at stake in November. JoeBiden.com. And look, things are going bad for the Democrats when Obama has to start using the word folks. When he breaks out the F word, I think that's an indication of the morning after poll show an 8-point swing towards Trump after that debate.
Could they not think of anything except for go to his website?
Yeah, no one uses websites.
That's always whenever Biden fucks up horrifically, they're like, just Google him. Just go when Joe. Do you remember the insane thing in the debate? I think it was the second debate in 2020 when Biden went, "If you're black, make your kids listen to the radio." And then he realized he said something insane and was like, "Go to JoeBiden.com."
Adam, I think after we watched throughout the entire debate last night, and after, I just want to return there's something you kept saying over and over again, which is, "This is America. This is our country."
I mean, it was a big powerful. It used to be. I mean, it's America. I mean, we did we have LeBron. We're a pretty important country. I don't understand. It's pretty embarrassing. I'm honestly I feel like my dad called me on January 6th, and he was like, "This is a sad day for our democracy." And I was like, "What are you talking? This is so funny. This is the best. This is the best show I've ever seen." I was like, "What channel are you watching? This is the funniest thing I've ever seen." I felt like my dad on January 6th last night. I was like, the British, they did a flag ceremony and kissed the Indian boy servant on the lips and then waved goodbye. They had dignity. We had we had that. It's way worse.
Yeah.
It's really embarrassing. The British just did a military style flag thing with Hong Kong,
Yeah.
It makes them look so much better than us. I mean, and they stink.
They don't even have LeBron over there.
We have crossovers. We have Scorsese. We have dunks. We have good stuff. And it's just they're making LeBron look bad. And they never asked about the GOAT debate, which is was a big miss. I'm actually kind of sad for America right now, honestly, and it feels pathetic. I feel like a Hillary woman or something. I feel like this is the punishment for our sins, right? Like we, as a global hegemon, like we've been satanic. Sure, we deserve this. The right like has played to like populist whatever the fuck. Like this was bound to happen, but still seeing it, it used to be funny. Remember when it was funny? It was so funny with fucking when he said to Jeb that his brother like did 9/11 and his dad killed Kennedy. Like, it was so funny. And Hillary you'd go to jail. It's right now. It's just like we stink. We stink. I'm gonna run. Should I run?
Yes.
Felix, you wanna Karl Rove me?
Like in what sense? Tell people that you have a black child, or like run your campaign.
Which Karl Rove are you thinking of?
The same one you are. The only one. The only guy named Karl Rove.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think that he was like George Bush's like.
That would be the one.
I'll look it up. Yeah, but do you want to abandon me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's what I meant. Did you laugh, Felix? Were you laughing?
Yeah.
Ugh.
What?
Because me and Will were laughing. It was like when you see Blazing Saddles as an adult.
No,
like
I wasn't. I wasn't.
You're forced laughing for the first 10 minutes, and you're like, "Oh, it's not funny. It's. I'm doing it because I
wasn't laughing at one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I wasn't laughing when Joe Biden said we need the machines 7 times in a row. Like I wasn't laughing during any of it.
Palestine Joe was funny. That was very good. Black Jobs was funny. There's a couple good ones. But like for the most part, we didn't get low energy.
Like that's fucking done. Like the era of Trump having like a quotable. I know that's like a big thing now. Everyone loves like their Zin and their this sort of like new style of tweet decking, where everyone pretends Trump also isn't incredibly degenerated. But that was a secondary takeaway for me. Joe Biden performed. I have never seen a worse performance from an American public figure. It is not only bad, it was alarming. It was, they should deport everyone who works for him. But Trump, I kept waiting for like a decisive knockout punch, like a moment we would remember forever. His own version of "There You Go Again" or whatever the fuck, because he was so open for it, and he just never did it. He never did it.
Nice guy.
All he did was like say, I'm not fat. I'll do it.
No, I think legit he felt bad for Biden. I think Trump was being a nice guy about it, honestly. I think Biden was doing such a bad job, even Donald Trump couldn't shoot him in the head. That's how sad.
I don't think
I said to Will, I was like, this guy is party to a genocide right now, right? And we still feel bad for him. That's how bad of a job he's doing. He has blood on his hands. And we're like, oh, come on. Like, just smile. Smile, sweetie. Just smile a little bit. People love those pearly whites.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it's pathetic to the point that you like forget that he specifically volunteered to do this and repeatedly insisted on doing this. And not just running for president, but doing it again, running for re-election after he said he wouldn't do it. It's so pathetic that you forget this is so singularly his fault. It is horrifying to the point that you almost absolve him of responsibility just through pure emotion.
Mm-hmm. Felix, you said to me once, you were like, the most boring thing is the thing that always happens, right? It was like during the first time Biden ran, and you're like, yeah, Biden's going to win. It's the most boring thing. There's no boring thing anymore. That's I think, what's alarming to me right now.
But there kind of is. Because no matter what happens, it's already happened. We've already fucking seen it. And whatever will come is a diminished form of the thing that already happened. So, I mean, the most boring thing still holds, even in a complete historic decline.
Felix, to your point about how this is uniquely of Joe Biden's making, Joe Biden and the people around him, yes, in insisting that he continue to run for president. And up until now, just completely brushing off any question of replacing him on the ticket or with anyone. And then not only that, but for the last couple months, issuing and other media surrogates issuing statements about hey, these deceptively edited clips of Joe Biden that make it seem like he is, like in severely in decline or in a state of dotage. These are all deceptively edited. And, I know from people who have been in meetings with Joe Biden behind closed doors, he's smart as a whip. He's doing push-ups. His command of the issues and statistics is par none. He's probably the smartest, most mentally acute guy who's ever been in the White House. And this is what they've all been saying. But not only that, but the fact that it was the Democratic Party, it was his campaign that wanted to have these debates in June rather than October. They wanted to have them in the summer, right after Trump's conviction, to define him to the voting public going into the summer and then the fall. And not only that, they let CNN do it in prime time at 9 p.m. Oh man, was that a mistake? Oh man, was that a mistake?
Maybe they thought that people would forget because it's so far ahead that they're by November people are going to be like, oh, that's old.
Well, I mean, that's what they're saying now. But if they're all saying, well, the debate doesn't matter. Well, then why do they insist on having it? And if Biden had won that debate, they would be using it to define Trump. They'd be like, he's a liar, he's a crook. All Joe Biden had to do in this debate was show up and look alive. And he failed to do that. And the thing that struck me from the first minute or two of the debate is that in a split screen where you're seeing both of their faces, when Trump was talking, Joe Biden's eyes were cast down and his mouth was totally slack. I mean, and he looked like a skull. His skin was so wan, and it was just the visual contrast between the two of them, which is what most people picked up on before turning off, was so starkly awful for Biden that when it was over and they cut to the CNN panel, they were looking like they all just got a cancer diagnosis. And none of them could say with a straight face that that was anything other than an unmitigated disaster for Biden. And they were all saying their phones were blowing up with all my friends who are Democrats or high level Democratic officials. They're in panic mode right now, and they're talking about replacing him on the ticket.
Van Jones looked like he was in the last scene of Old Yeller.
I just think about how for the last, let's say, 4 years they have said, oh, in private he really has his shit together, he's really coherent, he's very lucid. Okay, they knowingly marched him into the debate that was on prime time. They won the coin toss and had him go first for some reason. Just many choices I'll never understand. But okay, they knew he was in this state, right? Think about what they have seen when Joe Biden isn't on, medicinal speedballs or whatever. Think about the horrifying things they know about that they have seen that we do not know about. And they still went ahead with this. They still insisted on this. I don't think we're not going to fully, unless Biden loses, and then we'll probably find out pretty soon. We probably won't know for a few years the extent of his dementia or his senility or anything. But it's however bad it is in public on primetime with preparation, it's a million times worse in private.
It's stunning. And I got to say, in terms of it was so bad. I saw this morning the resurrection of a classic genre of post. And this one is from this guy, Eli Wiesel. Eli Wiesel, yeah.
Yeah, very prolific guy.
He came back.
Yeah, that's how serious this election is.
Yeah.
And he said,
he's it was worse than the Holocaust.
He said, so this is Eli Wiesel. He says, my kid just said, it's sad to watch a pack of lies beat a good person just because the good person can't speak.
Why does this kid talk like Walter Matthau? When was your kid born? 1947? A pack of lies. What?
My kid said, "Give me a sawbuck, Dad. I want to go down to the soda fountain." No, and then he says, "I literally just gave him a hug and said that debates don't matter." Mm-hmm. And would you bring back the classic? My kid says something profound. From the mouth of babes comes truth. But Felix, I want to pick up another thing that you mentioned this morning, which is like another line that I'm seeing from people who are like I think like what is now a very small and tiny minority of Democrats, like the people who are still in Virgil. Like for instance, the liberal Groiper that you posted this morning that had my jaw dropped when I saw that. That was
dude. The second the liberal Groiper got posted, it was like the Al Gore book purchasing scene in The Simpsons. It got printed out instantly. It got rushed to some deep bowels of the Pentagon, way beneath, like 50 levels beneath the crust of the earth. Some high-level general we've never heard of received the liberal Groiper. Sir, they've developed him. They've developed the progressive Groiper.
And the image was a Groiper holding a sign that says, like, fuck it. Like I'm still voting for Biden, don't care. Still voting for Biden, don't care. And the other thing that you mentioned is like the line that, like I said, I think is held by a very nervous but small cadre of riding with Joe people, is this idea that like they said it's June. By the summer people will forget about this. There's a long way to go to November. Let's just move it. Like this is just one bad debate. And your point on that is if there's anything sure to improve the conditions of senility and dementia, it's the advance of time.
Yeah, just wait. Right. That is, look, I've had a lot of members of my family who, went senile, had dementia, and the number one thing doctors always tell us is just wait. When someone is on death's door, what you want to do is just, it's like, what's that plant that you only have to water every 2 months? It's basically like that.
A jade plant. Yeah.
A jade plant. Exactly. They were not just saying this about like, hey, it's a long way till voting day. They were saying, don't worry. There's another debate that's much closer to election day in September when he's sure to be in better condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no. When you're on death's door, there is something called getting your swagger back.
Yeah,
it's a medical term.
You get memories of your childhood. You get you start getting morning wood again. You go through a second puberty.
And I also like this came across. There's a Kelly O'Donnell of NBC News posted this while the debate was going on. She posted 2 sources familiar with the situation say President Biden has a cold.
Oh, well, okay then.
Yeah,
we should take all this back. Let's take this back, guys.
Yeah,
we've been harsh.
I thought he was fucking on death's door. I thought he was done. I thought he was senile. It turns out he just nearly died from getting a cold.
Yeah,
so that's like really not that bad.
It really is impossible. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I've been saying this now for, I feel like years now. Is that like it is impossible for me to imagine that the Democrats can push this much further, or like how? And I think like their plan was to just get him across the finish line to November and then deal with the problem of replacing him. But like I think this has dramatically advanced the schedule of them having to deal with that. But it is still totally conceivable to me that they will not do anything, that they will just keep going.
Is there like a short list that's come out?
No, they don't have that. They're not prepared. They do not give a shit enough for that.
I've been thinking. I was thinking today, but then I looked up, and Mr. Beast is only 26, so it's going to be 9 years.
That's rough.
But I feel like he could save America a little bit. No,
I mean, he'd certainly get the youth vote.
I love Mr. Beast content.
But to get into some of the specifics of the debate, I think the bar of the night from Trump, like the best burn that Trump had, the best Trump line of the night, is one of the only times he directly referenced Israel and Palestine, which was very smart of him, by the way, to completely ignore that issue, is when he said he was like, Joe Biden wants to be a Palestinian, but they don't like him very much. He's a bad Palestinian. A weak one.
That was sick.
That was
so sick. That was like they gave us a little bit. That was a little nugget of like what we used to love.
And then like to be fair, the only blows that Joe Biden landed last night came in like the second hour of the debate, very close to the end, when he called Trump fat and a whiner. Those are the only things that rattled Trump a little bit. Yeah, when he went bitch
Yeah.
mode, and when he said the best line that Biden had, where he goes, "Sure, everyone believes you're 6'5", 220." But then it got into this whole ridiculous thing where they were debating about who's a better golfer.
Golf, yeah.
Yeah.
And Biden's also lying. He's doing a Kim Jong-un. He's not a 6 handicap.
Yeah, no,
What are
yeah.
you talking about? You can't drive, brother. What are you talking about?
I mean, like, look, they both lied about a lot of things, but the one thing I am confident about is that Trump would easily beat Biden in a game of golf. I mean, like, playing golf, like, that's what Trump does. I have never seen a clip of Joe Biden golfing ever. I've seen him be like, I think Biden could beat Trump in a bicycle race, but golf, that's Trump's thing.
Biden's nice at bicycle?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Did he
he's good.
fall? He had a fall.
Yeah,
no?
but that's only because
but
he's
like,
on the
what-
bicycle a lot.
What bicyclist doesn't fall? You know,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
part of the game.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
great bicyclist has fallen off their bike, you know, more times than they can count.
How is he running for president? Like, how? How is he running for president? I don't even like the Democrat. It is a joke of a political party. How? It's like they're just laughing at us. I feel like literally it'll be 15% voter turnout. Like, who is hyped on this?
I mean, I think it's not impossible that is part of the strategy, because low turnout no longer structurally harms Democrats. If you look at most of their, I mean, for some people they were upsets, but really they were kind of in line with polling. A lot of their successes from 2022 to the present in, you know, both special elections and midterms, a lot of the time they're cleaning up when there's incredibly low turnout. And who can call it at this point? But like, I don't think it's impossible that Joe Biden walks away with it if it's
He's dead.
incredibly low turnout. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
dead.
and he was half dead the last time. These are the only two people
He's
who
dead.
lose to each other. They're the only two people that can fucking lose to each other. They both, like, I cannot overstate how incompetent and unpopular both of these campaigns are. It's astounding.
Yeah, and Felix, that's the other thing. It's like, it's not like Trump turned in a barn burner performance here. It's not like even against
He's just
an opponent.
not dead.
He was just slightly less dead, and like,
He
and also
crushed
like,
by being not dead.
yeah.
Yes.
And here's the thing, like, I think from like a certain point of view, if you are a Democratic partisan who is like, believes that like preventing Donald Trump from becoming president is like the most important thing in the world, in a certain sense, last night was probably the best thing that could have happened for that cause, because last night was the only thing that I've ever seen that like has seriously rattled the Democratic leadership, and that they are, at least according to news reports, and like now you look at the New York Times this morning, it's like Thomas Friedman, fucking Paul Krugman, Nicholas Kristof. I mean, they're all saying, we love Joe. He's the best president of our lifetime. He's a fundamentally decent man, but the time has come for him to step aside, and that's the best thing he can do for the country. Like, because I think the consensus was any other Democrat, just generic Democrat on that stage with Donald Trump, probably would have defeated him pretty easily.
I could have defeated Trump so easy.
like
It would have been so easy.
James Clyburn said, "This is strike one." What does strike two look like? Him killing himself? He comes out naked. He tries to fuck Donald Trump. What's strike two?
This is strike one, but in the process of missing the pitch and swinging your bat around, somehow the bat goes all the way around far enough to hit you in the face.
Yeah.
He can't.
Your body twists around.
This is strike one in the sense that Reggie Jackson in Naked Gun being there like, to try to kill the King of England had one strike. I can't. It's just like I've argued with a few people about this. People in my family who are more, Democrats than me, let's say.
I feel so bad for our families right now.
Yeah, I
They're
do
so
too.
sad.
I do too.
They can't blame Russia anymore.
My family never did that, but like they, I don't know. Someone close to me said, I don't think they don't give a shit. I think they're scared and they don't know what to do, which like
Might
that
be
would
true.
be fine if they were drafted into this job.
Like, yeah, they're a soldier at Verdun. I'm just scared. I just want to live. I don't want to die. I was a 19-year-old kid in the French countryside a month ago.
Yeah. It's just like these are all like 62-year-old West exec shitheads who have made $100 million, covering up the Deepwater Horizon. And they wanted to do this. They signed up to work for Biden. They wanted to work in the White House. And it's like, maybe I'm not a very empathetic person. I just cannot feel bad for anyone involved in this situation. Outside of the voters, outside of a normal Democrat,
You know what? Also, fuck the election. He shouldn't be the president now.
No.
No.
That's the other thing. No one's talking
Adam,
about
that's
this.
been the
He
case
shouldn't be
for-
the president now.
He shouldn't have been the president in
Everyone's like,
2020.
how's this going to affect November? He should not be the president now. Far be it for me to be crying and hugging the flag, but like it's like I guess Ronald Reagan during the second term of Reagan, right? He was also dead. We've had
he was
before.
pretty senile.
Yeah, but like we almost went to nuclear war, didn't we?
That was in his
We
first
got
term.
Was that first term?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
first term Reagan.
When he was sharp, when he had
No. And then
slack.
actually, when his brain went to turn into jelly, that's actually when he actually got serious about arms control. So swings and roundabouts.
Didn't Nancy throat the throat goat?
Superhead.
She had
Yeah.
a psychic, right? That was
Oh
like
yeah,
big
fortune
state-
teller. Yeah.
state-
No. It was horoscopes. She was into fortune telling, but she was also deeply into astrology as well. There was a White House astrologer.
And they were making like state decisions based on the astrologer, right? Like when like they had like summits and like state like dinners and stuff. Or is that wrong?
Yeah, no, I mean I think there was some yeah.
I don't know. I'm a nightclub comedian. What the hell do I know about this?
No, I think that is correct. Like I think she was at Camp David or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Reagan wasn't around, when everything was constantly recorded, during an age where everyone is on camera, everyone has very high quality cameras and recording devices. So like maybe Reagan would have looked worse, right, in today's media environment. The fact is,
I know what you're saying.
The fact is, though, that like again, these people chose to run in that media environment. They chose this candidate. There's no such thing as fair. I'm sorry.
No, Felix, you raise a good point. Like Biden, at this point, should leak his meat. I feel like if we see that he's still got a monster. Okay, his brain is not what it used to be, but he still has a monster. I would follow him into battle.
I want to talk about like a few moments from the debate where it was like it wasn't just that Biden was bordering on complete incoherence for long stretches of the debate and like coughing and like touching his face weirdly for a very prolonged amount of time. But there was a number of moments where he not just like looked bad on his own, but he was assisting Trump in his own beatdown. He was like, Adam, a point you made when we were watching is that when he referred to the Trump tax cuts where he said, yeah, he passed the largest tax cut in American history.
Why would you say that?
That's what the Republicans say about their tax cuts. And if you're just like listening at home and you're accusing your opponent of passing the largest tax cut in American history, you're probably thinking like, oh, that's pretty good.
But also Biden owns COVID now.
Yeah,
Biden,
that was another incredible thing.
Biden owns COVID. That's the one thing they have going against Trump. And it's now Biden was the president, I guess. It's like they're so bad. I've never seen someone do this bad at anything.
Remember when the question was about abortion? Probably has helped Democrats more than any single issue, has defeated more Republicans in special elections than any single issue, than any single reason. It is the lifeline of all lifelines, the single issue which is unambiguously bolstered the party and is probably the only reason Joe even has a chance. He got that question about abortion and he immediately launched into a confusing story about how an illegal immigrant raped somebody.
Wait, Felix, I have the
what
quote
do you
here.
even fucking say?
Why?
What do you say?
How bad? He was trying to do bad. No?
I don't know. When he said, no, here's the quote. Here's the quote. He says, there's a lot of young women being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters. The sisters. But no, Felix, you're like that, and like they're like on CNN, on the CNN panel, they had like two former Trump people who worked for him, who have now betrayed him, and now like all they do is collect the check by telling everyone how dangerous he is. But like the guy that looked like Vic Mackey from The Shield on CNN said something that I thought was like, I was stunned that like no one else brought this up. But he said exactly what you said, Felix. He said, where was Biden talking about abortion? His best issue. That he flubbed a question that was just set up for him to dunk it on Trump, and he lost it completely. And you'll notice that what Trump did throughout the entire debate is just basically always brought, no matter what question he was asked, brought it back to immigration. And the millions of people, they're invading the country for mental asylums. They're coming here and they're killing so many people. We're living in hell right now.
They're jesters. They're clowns. They're psychos.
And like, yeah, because that's his issue. That's what fires up his base. That's what they want to hear about. And like, it greatly advantages him in his campaign. Biden did none of that with abortion. And he flubbed the fucking, Biden badly lost both of the exchanges that were set up to give him.
He lost January 6th.
He lost the January 6th question.
He lost January 6th.
He couldn't get that one right.
How do you do that? Like,
the Jewish media was trying to help him so much. Tapper was like, please, this one. They were giving him layup after layup, and he was just bricking.
January 6th is their favorite day in history. They're so upset. They love January 6th. For years after January 6th, they were like, we're still finding people who are there. We're going to kill the Bob's Burger actor who was at January 6th. They love it. They love it. And it comes to January 6th, and he's like, you cheated on me with a pregnant wife. You're a porn star. You tried to go to Kiev.
You're a porn star.
Here's the classic guy. Sir, I know Peter North, and your lords are no Peter North, sir.
I know Lexington Steel.
You, sir, are no Peter North.
Oh, my God.
Okay,
it used to be funny.
Here's another one.
Hillary was so funny.
Here's another one. I like when their exchange over Trump calling the troops losers and suckers, and when Biden goes, my son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Oh my God.
That was
it was like middle school.
And he blew that exchange too, because when Trump was like, they're lying, he's lying. I have 19 people. I have 19.
Gay. I talked to the troops. They think you're gay.
And and then like, okay, Biden like he kind of like half said it because he said, look, like it was a 4-star general, like it was John Kelly. He was the one who said that you said that. But like he missed the opening to talk about where it's just like Trump's like, it was a bad general, I fired him, that's why he said it. He appointed that dude. And like I think the point to make about Trump is like, why is it that like everyone who's ever worked for him is now either under indictment, testifying against him, or by his own estimation, a very bad, dishonest, nasty person? So it's either that your judge of character is so bad that you surround yourself with liars, betrayers, and snakes, or you surround yourself with criminals, frauds, and snakes because like goes with like. It's one or the other, and both of them means that you cannot be chief executive of the United States.
Instead of that, which would have been a good line of attack, he said, "You've never fired anyone."
What did that mean?
You've never fired anyone.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna vote for Trump. It just must feel so good. It's gotta feel amazing when you just press Trump. If my girlfriend has like one of the like that morning, election day, if she's like, I had a dream and you did something and now I'm mad at you, I'm gonna vote for Trump. I swear to God. I swear to you guys. That's what she deserves. The boys are back in town.
Another moment that really kind of like it did make me like almost feel bad for Joe Biden is when like I don't know, it was about halfway through the first act, he tried to bust out the old hit, like a big single from 4 years ago, and he goes, "That's the biggest load of malarkey I've ever heard." But it landed so flat, and it was just like, no, yeah, there's you can't squeeze any more juice out of malarkey.
Malarkey's
Joe.
never been a hit. It's never been a good song. He dropped Malarkey like it was fucking Stairway to Heaven, and it's like, no one ever liked Malarkey. Who's like, oh yeah, I ride with Malarkey. It's whack.
Malarkey was the biggest industry plant of 2020. All the they were really feeling themselves when they were like, everyone's saying Malarkey. It's so cool.
It's like that girl that does the interviews with the rappers. It's constructed by
Bobby Alpha.
by the elders of Zion.
The industry plant.
Bobby
Malarkey was an
Altoff.
Yeah. Malarkey
is the Bobby Altoff of
Adam, there's a new white 17-year-old rapper named Ian. His name
I've seen he's industry plant, they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Malarkey is. Malarkey is the rapper named Ian. Ian's on a new song with Vivio Foreign. Use or keep it.
I'm just trying to be myself. I got everybody mad at me for it. I hit the beat so hard, they give me a surplus battery for it.
I love rap.
Okay. Another great exchange in which I thought both Biden and Trump came out with some absolute fire was when they were talking about the border, and somehow they got on the topic of Joe Biden kept talking about fentanyl machines.
We need the machines.
And like, as you said, Felix, he kept talking about fentanyl machines. And I was like, dude, I would love one of those right now. But he kept saying, we need those machines. We need those machines. But then previously, Trump had made a comment about, we've got a new kind of dog. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't believe how good this dog is. I was going, what?
Dude, that part of the conversation,
the new dog.
If that was between two members of your family, if that was between two elder members of your family, you would call the mayor of whatever town you're in and say, hey, listen to this. I'm going to kill my uncle and my grandfather with a shotgun. Just to end this. They're not okay. They'd be like, all right, we'll send someone to pick up their bodies later.
What compromise does BB have on this guy? It's the only explanation that makes sense. BB must have Biden doing something incredibly embarrassing. I feel like there has to be some sort of nefarious power that is keeping this in place right now. Because it makes
I know what it is. I know what it is, Adam. He has the ghostwriter of Malarkey ready to go public and be like, none of those bars with Joe Biden. He uses a ghostwriter for everything.
What how is Biden also I told you before the debate, I'm like, Trump's not going to touch Israel. But how has he gotten disrespected publicly so much during his presidency? It is someone has to have a picture of him literally kissing, having sex with a dog or something. Israel definitely has the dog sex tape or something. I can't figure out what is keeping this going right now.
Well, I mean,
cut all that.
No.
We're going to be on post-left watch for that.
But no, I think the point we made, the fact that Trump, other than a few, in glancing reference, he did talk about Hamas and Israel, but for the most part, he completely demurred on engaging with the issue, except when he said the truthful thing is that Biden's lying that it's only Hamas that wants the war to continue. When he said, actually, it's Netanyahu, he wants the war to continue, and you should let him. You should let him finish the job. And Joe thinks he's a Palestinian, but he's a very weak one. They don't even like him. He's a fake Palestinian. But I think the interesting thing is when he talked about Ukraine and he talked about Zelensky. I felt that the way he talked about Zelensky and the fact that we're giving them all these weapons and getting nothing in return, or we're spending all this money on them and they're not paying their fair share. I thought that was his oblique way of saying the exact same thing about Israel.
I don't know. In general, with all Donald Trump policy things, I will believe it when I see it when it comes to his non-interventionist, even passively non-Zionist turn. That is just never happening. We're never getting a Republican who does that. I don't believe in it.
To his credit, he didn't go to war with Iran.
He fucking killed Soleimani.
Yeah, one guy.
Right.
And it was a precise attack. He died like a dog.
He died like one of those new dogs that we have at the border.
One of the new dogs, the fentanyl dogs.
I need to say,
He died like a fentanyl dog.
I need to know that they've created a new dog. I need to know about a new dog. What is it?
He hates dogs in person, but he loves dogs as like pieces of technology. Like, you remember the dog that helped kill al-Baghdadi, and he gave him a medal?
Yeah, I love that though.
That was awesome.
You know what it sounded like? It was a conversation. You know a guy that's in front of Whole Foods, and he's got like 12 backpacks, and he's just like, the stuff they were saying on that stage is one of like it's indecipherable from just a guy with 12 backpacks in front of Whole Foods. Like, literally, they sound like hobos, the two of them. The new dog was crazy.
New dog did just get overshadowed by the sheer amount of times that Biden said, "We need the machine," and how increasingly ominous he sounded.
What is he?
Who is he, Skynet?
That was insane. That was insane. Like, that was, I don't know what he was trying to convey. I don't know what mood he was trying to represent. It was so it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, like, a real person do.
It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
Here's another clip. I did like when Trump said, all the things that we've done, nobody has ever seen anything like that, even from a medical standpoint, to try where we can to try space age materials instead of going to Asia. So
it sounded good. That sounded good because he wasn't dead.
We could have space age materials, but instead we're going to Asia to get regular materials.
They both riffed on this topic because Trump said, instead of space, we're going to Asia. But Biden, sort of apropos of nothing, went, we used to get 5% of our chips. We only had 3% of the chips. Mm-hmm. Now we went to Asia and we made 90% of the chips.
It's as if they're warming their hands in front of a barrel with a fire.
Yeah. They're like an old style of hobo. They're like the types of hobos. Hobo. They're like the types of hobos who, like, the trash they interact with has entire fish skeletons.
Yeah, they're like, I'm going to California.
Yeah. They would be in a Coleman Francis film.
It was so Dust Bowl.
Yeah.
It was Faulkner.
This is like, do you know that story about how the last Civil War widow died in 2020 because she was a girl who was born in like 1920, and during the Dust Bowl, her family tried to make money by like doing chores for this 90-year-old fucking Civil War veteran, and he couldn't pay her, but instead he offered to marry her so that when he died she would get his benefits. That's probably what being around either of these men is like being married
to someone who fought in Antietam.
Civil War combat veteran.
Well, speaking of another thing that I love, another great thing that Trump did during the debate is that he kept talking about Biden. He's killed so many people. He's killed so many people. More people have died more people died under Biden than died under Trump. Like, whether you're talking about COVID or talking about like illegal immigrants killing and raping people, I just love that he kept I just love that he kept going back to, like, he's killed so many people and we're living in hell right now. We're literally in hell. This country is hell.
It was such a contrast. Like, Trump had three modes. Like, one was, we're living in hell. All these fucking Guatemalans are coming over. They're going to kill you. They're going to kill your family. Our cities are in hell.
Third world
country, etc. Like the usual, like, rapists and criminals type stuff. And then, Joe's incompetent. Joe's the worst president ever. Everything you do is a fucking huge, huge disaster. You ruin the economy. And then, like, there was a little bit of, like, 2016 when, like, the one moment he kind of capitalized on Biden's, whatever you want to call it, where he goes, I don't even think he knows what he said there.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that was mercy. That was mercy. That's what I mean
I don't
earlier
think
when
it's
I said
mercy.
he's being
I
a
mean, I
nice
think
guy.
we're-
He's like, this is a sad display.
I think part of it is a conscious effort because in 2020 he did alienate a lot of voters he needed by that like weird debate where he kept interrupting Biden and was like really combative. Though it did a lot of voters did like it, even though on the whole it hurt him. It had a net negative effect. I think part of that was a conscious effort. Part of it is like he's also like very old and fucked up. Like neither of these guys are in good shape.
Trump said he's in bed. He's like I feel as good as I did 25 years ago, and actually, if anything, I'm slightly like I weigh slightly less. He's like lost some weight from 25 years ago.
You didn't mention the worst comeback of the night, which was he's like, actually, 43.
Oh God, the presidential scholars one.
The scholars they say you are the worst.
Awful.
Oh, that was so bad.
The Democratic Party is a joke.
He came back to that line twice. He
thought it was bars.
Because Trump was like, he's the worst president of all time. There's not even close. It's the most disastrous administration in our entire history. It's very sad what's happening. He's the worst president. And then Biden's come back to that as like, but actually, sir, 159 presidential scholars have all agreed that you're the worst president. And then when Trump came back and said, I have my own list of scholars, and they actually rate me the number one president. I have my own, I'll show you another.
I have Dr. Drew. I have Dr. Dre.
But then Biden kept back again to saying, like, look it up. The 159 presidential scholars say Trump's the worst president ever. That's like saying,
who cares?
Actually, all the teachers had a meeting and they all agreed that you're the worst student in class.
Yeah, it reminded me of when after Biden won, they were, people were really feeling themselves, and they got mad over people not calling Jill Biden doctor. And I saw this one liberal account say, we should have a million PhD march on Washington. I always think about that. It's like the same line of thinking. And it's just such a good insight onto how do you get here? How do you get here from there?
To copy Farrakhan also is amazing. To steal the bit from Farrakhan. To have a nerd march.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. But before the debate on Biden's Twitter account, they were hawking this. Okay, so he tweeted right before the debate, I don't know what they've gotten these performance enhancers, but I'm feeling pretty jacked up. And it was a photo of the official Joe Biden canned water, and it's the dark Brandon, like the red eyes Biden, and it says zero malarkey on top, and then on the bottom it says get real, Jack. It's just water. And I'm thinking, like, now with the million nerd march, they should be selling Joe Biden bean pies as well. They need to get on that
help
shit.
him, guys. We have to help him. Listen, guys, it's all your fault. It's the dirt bag left. Okay, we could have had this beautiful woman have 8 years of a gorgeous presidency, and now we have this, and we all share some responsibility. We have to write some bars for this guy. Flexing off of a water after you poop your pants in front of America. He crapped his pants. There's a moment where people think he crapped.
Look. Fortunately, they've been there before with the crap rumor. They've dealt with that before. They know what.
How does the government keep crapping their pants? They had Nadler, and then they had what's his name, McConnell. They just keep pooping themselves.
Well, McConnell just froze. McConnell just froze. We don't know that he crapped.
Oh, I smelled it. People were there. They smelled that shit.
I mean, like, if I was advising Biden, or if I wanted to write some bars for him, like, I would return to the only hits he did have is when he got Caddy and called him fat and a whiner.
Yeah,
and
he needs gay guys. He needs gay guys cooking on this. He needs Sex and the City writers.
And or it's like, or on the question when where Trump was like, I'm only running for president again. I also like when he said, I would much rather not be doing this. I could be at one of many fabulous locations. He said my favorite
incredible.
locations.
He's amazing. He's the goat. He's the fucking goat.
But I mean, like that would have been an opening to just be like, just call him out for capping on this. Like he's running again because he can't stand being a loser. And like
Yeah, call him a loser.
Yeah, just call him a loser. Call him he's a fat loser. And I was like when Trump said, I didn't have sex with a porn star. Why didn't Biden jump all over that? To just be like, yes, you did, and you paid for it.
Well,
Trump even
that's cool.
The first time Biden said that, Trump even made a face like, "Man, I did do that."
Yeah, but
like, man, I don't even like having sex. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
No, he has to go Samantha Sex in the City mode. That's the last. He has to be like, you've seriously never taken a ride on the brown side? He has to just go, bitch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably forgetting like a number of other jaw-dropping and hilarious moments from that. But if Chris, you have one?
The multiple times Trump referred to post-birth abortions. And even mimicked taking a fetus out of did a hand motion of taking a fetus out of a lady and putting it on a tray and like strangling it in front of him.
They're hobo.
Another thing that one would think might be a retort for it. He mentioned post-birth abortions at least twice, which also got me thinking that I think you could refer to basically any homicide as a post-birth abortion. But no retort, zero. Like just totally just let that go. Like literally they're killing folks. They're taking babies out of the lady and they're killing them right on the tray. They're doing it.
One thing I thought was interesting about that whole line of attack was that he basically said Ralph Northam personally is doing this. Like now that he's not governor anymore, he's just like the guy in Kung Fu. He's traveling around Virginia finding babies just being born and just fucking slicing them open because that's what he really likes to do. But like he was trying to also strike a conciliatory tone at the same time, which was very weird to see him do. After he did that, after he said Ralph Northam's killing all these babies the moment they're born, he went, but you know what? No one wants that. No Democrat or Republican wants that. So, like, we're all against this. Joe's against this. I'm against this. And it's really only Ralph Northam, the guy who isn't in office anymore, who's doing this. And me and Joe are going to stop him together. So I thought that was nice.
I mean, like that's another example of how badly he flubbed the whole exchange over abortion. Is because like Trump painted himself as basically a moderate, and he said everyone agreed that Roe v. Wade should be overturned. All the constitutional scholars. He came out with another list. Everyone agreed, liberals and conservatives, and he was going, I believe in exceptions, for the rape and incest and the life of the mother. And he allowed him to like present himself as a moderate on abortion and be like, but they're strangling babies as soon as they're born. But like, I know Biden tried to turn it back on him, but like there should have been way more emphasis on the fact that like the party you represent does not make these distinctions and like what outlawing abortion practically means. Like for instance, like Trump, anytime there's a telegenic white woman who gets killed by an illegal immigrant in like a car accident or a murder or something like that, Trump talking about her name, he goes to her funeral or whatever. Why didn't Biden have like a roster of telegenic white women who have either died or nearly died from like from sepsis because a hospital in Texas is like, could you go home and come back when you're a little bit closer to death so that we can do this like very simple medical procedure?
Because Biden is personally squeamish on the issue.
Yeah.
He, to this day, says abortion should be rare, that he's personally against it. He is so not the man for the moment in every way, but holy shit, he can get even worse than you think.
Another like similar thing to this where I'm just like thinking of things that are huge wasted opportunities. I kept imagining a competent person up there who's like, could look at Trump's current platform and what he likes talking about, i.e. stuff like invoking the U.S. military and state national guards to do illegal immigrant sweeps and just have somebody up there being like, imagine this. You live in Georgia. A federal army officer from New York or California knocks on your door and demands to see your birth certificate or you get immediately thrown into military jail. Is that what you want? Because that is what Trump is proposing.
Well, Biden also can't touch that because he he's signed off on that. He thinks that's
Yeah.
good and tried to
Obama's
brag
sort of
multiple
the
times
Gestapo.
about streamlining that process.
By the way, I don't know if we want to get into this at all. Maybe we can talk about it later, but I dipped back into Pod Save America this week for a very specific reason that maybe we'll bring up.
Who's
And I
Jake
was-
Flores?
Oh, no, the other one, the inverse of that one.
Sorry.
And it's just amazing to hear their line before and after the debate, the episode just before the debate. They were indeed very much complaining frustratedly about what they were calling cheap fakes, which were the poorly edited, the misrepresentationally edited videos of Joe, and being like, oh, these get so much traction on TikTok, and that's the way people see Joe Biden, and it's all misrepresenting him, and this is going to be his big opportunity. And definitely when they checked in after the debate, they were not talking about that. But then the one that was really galling was on their episode when they were talking about immigration, how seamlessly they slid into strength on the border was always our policy. It's always been about strengthening and securing the border so we can do the sensible, humane, domestic immigration policy that we've always wanted to do. This has always been the policy, and Joe is doing a great job.
That is a group of guys that believes in a lot. They stand on their word.
Yeah.
No matter what else you could say about them, they're also incredibly original content creators.
Yeah, they're very original too.
Yes.
More to come on that.
They come up with all their own ideas.
Yeah, we can maybe allude to that and get into that more later because it is very funny.
But okay, last thing I got here, I just remembered the best thing that the funniest thing Joe Biden said all night. I can't believe I forgot this until now. Right at the very end, my favorite Joe Biden moment of the night is when he said, I was in France just last week for D-Day. It's like, I was landing on Omaha Beach, Jack, and let me tell you, it was no picnic. I was in France last week for D-Day is such a funny way to put it. Well,
how do we fuck up America? They made so much money off of rebuilding the world, and they blew it in 10 minutes. They've tried so hard to fuck it up. I imagine they hit the lottery.
I don't know. I mean, you can talk about late stage imperial decline as sort of a cliche or a bit of a punchline, but man, seeing that debate last night, you really you see it, and it's like like you said, Adam, it's not quite as funny as it used to be.
There's no dignity. And I'm saying we don't deserve dignity, but it isn't nice to LeBron. That's all I'm saying. It's not fair. It's not fair to Martin Scorsese. It's not fair to the things we've done okay.
Oh man.
Take that, Le Decline.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to wrap things up, the only thing that's on my mind is it's going to be interesting to see what the next couple of days and weeks will hold. And if I had to bet, I don't think that they are going to replace him. I mean, I don't
think so either.
I just have this feeling I think they're going to weather it for a week or whatever, but because I think they know they haven't planned for it. I don't know why I don't know what's stopping them from doing it, but it's just because I said it earlier in the show. I've had this thought over and over again, even not as a fan of the Democratic Party. I'm don't they have an ounce of self-preservation or an instinct for their own survival? And I guess my response to that is I don't think they care. I really don't think they
don't
care.
No, but they also fundraise well when Trump's the president. I think that's what they're banking.
I don't know.
They flat out don't give a shit. Don't ever let them guilt you into doing or thinking anything ever again in your life. Just everything they say about reproductive rights and the Supreme Court. Well, this is how little they give a shit about any of those things. They care exactly this much.
I think that's a good way to put it. Let's wrap it up there for today, boys. But
so you guys are still undecided, or
I don't know. I'm giving RFK Jr. another serious look.
Yeah,
I think he's got a lot of really important and funny things to say.
Palestinians gave me dirt heroin in the 70s. That's why I sound like this.
Oh man. But yeah, I think it legitimately was a fairly historic night last night. And going into it, I was worried that this was just going to be completely boring. But I think we all witnessed something pretty special last night. And It was a joy to share with all of you. And I want to thank Adam, host of the Adam Friedland Show, for being our guest
sorry
today.
I got so passionate. I love this. I love America. We've done so many cool things.
It'll be fun. Adam, you know who used to be like a huge empire? Like these guys, they had it so on lock that they had a program where they would take white babies and turn them into Master Chief. They had a white baby super soldier program, and everyone just let them do it. They had everything on lock. And then they did a genocide and a bunch of other things, and they were declining for a while. And the Ottoman Empire was no more. And then there was Turkey. And is Turkey doing great right now at this specific moment? No. But what does Turkey have? Turkey has Hassan. Turkey still has TV. They make the TV that everyone in the world watches. They had their own 5th generation fighter jet. And it's like, it's not going to be so bad. We deserve a lot worse, but like, really,
Felix,
you know.
If it fucks up, you and I have to move to Israel. We're the victims in this.
And you know what?
I don't want to move to Israel.
You know what, Felix? Here's another way to look at it. All of those Balkan young boys who were drafted into the Ottoman Master Chief program, now they're stars in the NBA. Like, Nikola Jokic would have been like the greatest janissary of all time back in the day, but now he's a 3-time MVP All-Star.
Yeah, Adam, let me say something to you. It's from the video game Dark Souls 3, and this quote had like a major impact.
Is that the one with like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck?
No, that's Kingdom Hearts. I don't play Kingdom Hearts.
Sorry, I'm not into baby
kidding
stuff.
Me?
Sorry, I like sports.
Adult man.
Girls.
I'm an adult man. I play serious shit. Everything that has been alive and that will ever live is part of a great cycle that will move around forever and ever.
No, I think it's Linkin Park said that.
No, they did. No, they didn't write the item description. That's an item description in Dark Souls 3 for an item you pick up outside of Firelink Shrine. And it's not Kingdom Hearts. It's quite different. They could not be more different.
I think it sounds similar. I love you, boys.
All right, gang, signing off. Talk to you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We need those machines. We need those machines. We need those machines.